Hello, once again I'm here to ramble on without a plan and draw without ideas. I thought about thinking of what to draw first this time, but man, I can't. I just want to draw things that might look cool, and then I think, well, it looks cool, and everything that I think looks cool that people might want to look at, I can't draw. So let's draw I got nothing. Alright, we'll start with just a guy. Warm up. Easiest thing in the world. Side view. Big rough. Dude like this. This is supposed to be the second part in the Drawphlosophy series where I talk about stuff and drawing and whatnot. And you know, it's a harder thing to do than I realized. Last time somehow I got started talking about this and that. I'm not sure how to start talking about stuff. I guess I could talk about problems relating to my experience in art, which would be like, I'm the least creative person I know. Genuinely think I am. And it makes it really hard for me to come up with anything. You know, as you just witnessed here at the beginning of the video, I don't know how to come up with ideas. And I don't have near enough confidence in my drawing abilities to you know, like psycho draw some squiggles and then zoom in or zoom out, I guess, and see what he sees. And I could do that, I suppose, but I don't know, that always leads to me drawing something I don't want to draw, and it's never very good. You know, not that my favorite thing to draw ever is grumpy dudes from the side, but they are super easy for me to draw. You know, I mean, mostly what I draw are, you know, females. But for some reason, when I do these videos, I just think that's terrifying to try to draw a female character. You know, like, I don't know. I draw them the most, but certainly not because they're the easiest. I guess I can do kind of a little tutorial in the beginning here to get myself going, and then I might just ramble off and talk about whatever. I guess I can say, like, one thing I found, if you're doing an anime girl or just a cartoony girl and you want her to look really cute, like innocent cute, let's get her head in here. It's super simple to do from the front view, so I always do it from the front, but it has everything to do with the eyes. So I'll give her like a short head like so, and then I'm going to cheat a lot because I'm doing digitally, and I might as well, just to save you some time, but maybe I'll try not to cheat too much. It starts really just with making her eyes super big. Not too big, I suppose. You don't have to make them big, just really round. So what I do is, I place her eyes. I'm going to do just large, very round pupils, or irises, or whatever, the whole bit. I believe that's the technical term. And then one thing I just figured out, actually, that I have a problem with is when I do eyelashes. I don't know, I'm just not good enough to do it differently, I suppose, but I wasn't making them curve around with the eye like this, where it kind of just sticks to this same curve. You have your little thingies, lashes popping out here and there. I was like kind of trying to like shape them, where I do, if here's the iris, cornea? What part's the cornea? I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. But so you have your eye, right? Like so. And then if I wanted to make her like, I don't know, sexy, feisty, evil, whatever adjective, kind of try to like hold the phone. That's not how I do it. I'm lying right now. This needs to be much larger. Okay, so I'll do like similar to this, like this is just round and all that, but I kind of try to shape it more short, so like they're just not as tall. If you know what short is, you probably knew what I meant by that. And then you do like crazy lashes like this that are like long and pointy, and it's like typical to make it look like heavy eyeshadow, like she's seductress. That's a word. And it doesn't look, that bad, I suppose, but I don't know, I'm not good at it, and especially when I do like 3/4 view, if I have a face, which the faces I draw are not very like, you know, adult, sexy woman. They're like innocent. They're not supposed to be, you know, children, but it's just how I draw it, you know. And I'll do the eyes, and then when I try to do this kind of eye, it just looks weird, you know. I'll do this one, I'm like, okay, that looks good enough, and get the eye in there. She's looking at you or whatever, and then I try to do this one. When I do this side, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to keep that seductive look. I guess it helps to have the eyebrows a little bit down, you know, like angry-y. But I know there's a look that's like a seductive look where they're not angry eyebrows. You know, I know it's gotta be possible that you can have raised eyebrows, you know, but then the whole point, I guess, would be that the eyes are like closed halfway. You know, but like this girl, she looks kind of stoned or something, and of course they're not even the same size. Where does color go there? You know, I mean, you can hint at like the kind of smirky smirk. Maybe if one of them is kind of down and the other one is up, you know, because I don't want her to look, sometimes I don't want them to look evil, but they still need to look kind of, you know, I don't know. It's not necessarily sexy and seductive always, but it's just how I try to think of it, because I want to draw it, but I don't know how. I see drawings where they look, it's like somehow they capture an innocent, you know, good girl type character who has that look that I'm trying to describe, as though like they're trying to be like that. You know, so you give them like the eyes, I suppose, and the blushies. I guess that kind of works. I don't know, it's I find it to be one of the hardest things ever, is even after all this time, I draw and draw and draw and draw and draw, and I look at drawings constantly, and I still struggle so much with the eyes and getting any sort of facial expressions other than, you know, super typical I don't know why I do that. I do a lot of like this. It'll be, you know, an open eye for the most part, and then the mouth is like just closed, you know, hinted at faint lips in the anime style, and then on occasion it'll be like what I drew in that silly face. Instead of this, it'd be like just a typical looking open mouth. You know, I show like some of the top teeth and then the tongue. And I don't know, not like it's bad, it doesn't look bad. I'll just do it and it's fine. You know, but when I want to work on, you know, a manga, I'm gonna have to be able to draw other facial features, other, not features, expressions. You know, and it's easy for male characters for me just because I don't care if they look silly. I'll just draw it, have them look goofy to really express what I'm going for. People can be like, oh, he looks silly, and I don't really care. I mean, I can't draw as cool as Tite Kubo draws Bleach, so I'm not gonna like worry about my male characters looking super cool all the time. What just happened? You know, but I worry about, like, say I trying to draw, you know, a female character. In this case, I'm specifically trying to make her look cute. You know, but what if I wanted to draw her super cute, but you know, with a crazy expression, like she's super surprised or something. And I mean, I know there are plenty of artists who can do it. You know, whenever I'm reading manga, I just like geek out on the art and just go crazy thinking how cool it is that they can draw such good-looking characters in all these different views and poses and expressions. And I mean, I know it's just practice. You know, I got one of the, I got the art of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and it's really cool. They have like their initial drawings of like the characters and like different facial expressions of each character and all that, and they're really good at capturing each emotion. With different facial expressions, especially Sokka, because he's such a goofball. He has so much character to him. I don't think there was a Zuko one, but point is, work on your expressions. Anyway, here's the trying to make this girl cute. So right now it looks like a baby. I super admit that. So we're gonna try to just alter it a little bit. Gonna remove the eyes. Take the head. So in this case, it definitely needs to be more elongated. A little bit pointer. Whoa. Point your chin. Put the eyes back. I'm sort of trying to follow proportional rules, but not really. I mean, I know that you have the top and bottom of the head, and then you have the top of the ears is supposed to be with the brow, you know, but I don't know, I like to lower the ears, raise the eyes, especially because I do the eyes a little bit bigger than would be, of course, on a normal person's face. I feel like I want to move them closer together, but I know that's not right. So we're just gonna move on. Try to put some hair in here. Cute hair would probably be more like, we'll do like a shorter hairdo. Super common one would be like, we'll do the bangs kind of chopped off. I guess it's almost like a bob cut, or maybe it's 100% like a bob cut. But it looks better because it's an anime drawing. I guess. I don't know. So I like to do like this and kind of flare out some of the hairs, depending on how well you shape the head and the style you're going for and everything. Sometimes I find that my hair, when I go to draw the hair, I use the actual line of the head as the top of the hair, whereas you're supposed to like kind of have it float above like this to show the thickness when you do like cartoony style. But it just depends. Sometimes I notice artists, it'd be a really good drawing, but it's like they're stuck in the habit of raising the hair off the head, and then you'll have like this perfect drawing except the fact that the head looks massive because the hair is floating off the head so much, and that bothers me. I'm sure I'm guilty of it, but to test it, I'll go in after I draw the hair, I'll kind of erase the headlines. I like to do hair tucked behind the ear, because I always draw the ear, and then maybe I feel like I have to keep it. Sounds like something I would do. You know, like in this case, I really don't like this side not being tucked behind the ear, or not having the ear showing. So I'm going to try to give like a piece that comes in front of the ear. And then I'll just erase just bits of the ear, like that. And it looks good enough, I suppose. Before I get too far in, another thing I like to do to make cuter characters is bows and flowers and such things. In this case here, I don't know. Anyway, maybe a hat. Let's just see what a hat does for me. Some sort of, I could do, I don't know, it's cold outside right now, so maybe I'll give her like a really poorly fitting beanie. No, maybe she bought the wrong size. And it just so conveniently makes for more interesting composition of hat. So that would be like that part. I don't know. If you can't tell what it is, I'm not drawing it very well. Like a beanie. If I didn't mention that, it's gonna kind of like hang off the back. Maybe we'll give her like a fluffy ball in the back here. I don't know about this. Where are these lines from? No, that's weird. It's way too off of her head. You know what? Here's a tip, especially in digital when you can just kind of like, I'm just erasing some of the lines, nothing major. I can always just get rid of that later on and try something else. No big deal. So let's just try to kind of go with that. We'll give her like we'll do scarves a lot, and I'm gonna do one again. So what we'll do here, we'll have the scarf coming down like this. Sorry, I'm letting it off the page. I don't really want to zoom out. Back to the first layer. My chin's going crazy here. A lot of times I'll kind of sketch a lot of overlapping lines like this, just quickly, just until I get the overall feel I want, where if, you kind of, it's almost like you are able to just pick the lines that would make the most attractive shapes, even though overall they're horrible together, like they're wrong, but then you can go in and I find the shape a lot, like the shape I want. I'll officially get it by erasing from all those lines. What's wrong with her eyes here? Are they too far apart? This is fun. You get to see me struggle. Struggle. So let's try moving them a little bit closer together. And I'm really not sure. Alright, if I don't look at this top bit, it looks better how it was, to be honest with you. In reality, I should just flip the image. It'll show me all the things I don't want to see. What happened? What's happening? First of all, I think she's cross-eyed. I think that's a problem. But instead of spending a lot of time trying to fix that, what I'll do, since it's just the sketch phase, anywho, I'll just color this part in. Often I'll make the pupil bigger. Okay, so next problem. So what I'll do here, if you'll see, if you're using SAI, quick tip that I do a lot. So I want to move the hat and the hair at the same time and see what happens. So I just put them in a folder. Usually I put everything into a folder in the very beginning. That way I can close it, click on it, and then go here and like adjust everything at once. What did I do? What? There we go. So in SAI you can do where if you have it in a folder and you don't try to highlight anything specific, it'll let you alter everything as a whole. Okay, so I'm going to lower her hair. I think her bangs need to be lower. So I'm going to find her hair, I'm going to shorten it. Actually, because I gave her a scarf, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to change it or something. We're gonna come back to that. That's not working for me, senor. I'm going to have her hair tuck into the scarf. They have a thing like on Pixiv, they'll have you know, like here's a collection of winter clothing illustrations. They have an actual name. Hello, sorry, that was a strange film cut, whatever. I was recording this yesterday and my wife came home and I don't do these when she's home. That's all. So, what I was saying, I think there's a Japanese word for when the hair, what color is that? When the hair tucks into the scarf like this. You know, I can't remember. Oops. Why I was even telling you about that, but that's what I'm doing with the hair. Usually the scarf might be a little bit tighter around the neck, but what are you going to do? Put like a high sweater thing up in here just to take up some of that space. But that's not important. You know, it is important. It looks terrible. Let's get rid of that. Let's find the scarf layer and let's move it Try to not have to redraw the hair. I'll just move it up like this. And that is also terrible. Okay. Let's just forget about the whole thing. So I noticed here, after coming back the next day, I'm noticing things that are wrong with it. Things that I do not like. One thing, of course, would be this neck is way too thick. And the way I've drawn the scarf here, it's as though like it's laying flat once it gets to here, flat, like that. But that would mean that her shoulders are up here. But you could, you could like hint that her shoulders are raised, maybe. She's being all cute and whatever. How's that? That'll have to do. Okay, so I don't like what I did. As I said, I was trying to keep proportions a little bit decent. I like where her eyes are, but her ears, they're either too big or it's just too high. I can't decide yet. So I'm going to shrink them. Shrink them a little less, and then I'm going to move them down. And of course it's weird now that this one's covered. It looks like it's floating off the head, but it's not. That looks better. So I'm going to change the hat. I'm lazy, so a lot of times I'll try to, whatever I can do to cheat. But you know what? I just don't think that the hat's going to work. Not that hat, at least. I like doing angles and having the hat kind of like, I don't know, because it's an anime head, so it's not a real head, so you can't just draw a hat sitting on the head as it normally would, because then it looks weird and whatnot. So let's see. And if I gave her a scarf, I have to assume it's cold out, so she probably wouldn't be wearing, some sort of sun hat. What if it was a witch? Oh. Okay, so if that's the hat, if you don't like that, I'm sorry. If this was a live stream, maybe I could change the hat for you. Maybe a little lower. Maybe like yay. Jeez, what the heck was I doing? I thought I got all the hair, and then I looked again, and I certainly didn't. Where's this line from? Good grief, where's this line from? There we go. So anyway, in terms of making her look cute, that's sort of what this was supposed to be about a long, long time ago. I'm gonna make sure her eyes aren't completely wonky. Normally what I would do to ensure accuracy on a front-facing drawing like this is, like I did with the ears, I'll draw one as I want it, down to this point and then copy it and put it over here and flip it. You know, a lot of artists do that once they're good enough, and it's like they know they can do it without doing that, but to save time they do that. I do it because I'm not that good, and I want to save time. So, you know, judge away. But I'm not too worried about it. You know, I'm really bad at drawing witches' hats, by the way. It has everything to do with, like, I draw it the way I draw it. It just doesn't look good. Almost looks like a cowboy hat, just from this shape. Not that cowboy hats even look like that, but that's how I feel. I'll give her like a ribbony bit around the hat. Because she's supposed to be cute, we'll put like a bow off the back side right here. What if this was, here's something, they'll have a lot of clips, like hair clips in anime drawings, that are otherwise worthless because it doesn't ever end up holding the hair back at all, which I'm fine with because I want it for looks anyway. But that's something I have a problem with as an artist. I'm always thinking like, oh, well, you can't put that because that's not real, or that doesn't work. You know, physics don't apply to what you just did, that sort of thing, and you know, it'll get you in trouble if you're trying to be a creative illustrator. You can't be nitpicky about the science of things. I mean, a lot of artists know very well how things work and the lighting and all that good stuff, and then they choose to play with it, you know, so that it's better looking. I saw a drawing that I really liked, and it was a girl with the, you know, the curves going on, with the thigh gap, you know, whatever she was doing. Anyway, you get the idea. It had the thigh gap. It was a really good drawing, I thought. And then the person said, I really like this drawing, but it's so unrealistic how this girl has such a thigh gap. You know, despite being so, he said like, despite being so curvy, something. And I mean, he's right. You know, maybe there wouldn't have been, but, you know, when you're, and he was complaining about it being realistic, and I just think, you know, if you're going to look at an anime illustration and complain about it being realistic, you know, don't look at anime illustrations. That seems really simple to me. You know, when I look at drawings, I only care if it looks good. I don't care if it's, I mean, I get upset when I see like a drawing that's really good and they just ignored all logical thinking and the light sources don't add up, and but I just get upset because I think, like, how did you even think to do that? Like, how does your brain come to the conclusion to make certain creative choices when they're so nonsensical? Like, I wish I could just do that. I don't care that it's not realistic, because it's a drawing. That's what everyone says. Like, if you want such realism, then look at photography, which I disagree with. I think realistic art is way cool, because I've tried to do realism and I find it's easier, at least for me, just because it's all like factual based. Like, this is what a person looks like. If you're drawing a specific person, this is what this person looks like. This is how lighting works, end of story. But it's still really difficult to perform. What do you mean? What is it? Execute? There you go. You really have to be super good at all the techniques required to do a realistic drawing, painting, whatever you're doing. I find that sometimes, I won't even give them a nose at all. This hardly counts as a nose, but I'll sit there and I'll like it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't draw the nose, and then I'll draw the nose, and no matter how many times I try, it just seems to ruin it. Like, somehow, that kind of flat face look just looks better. And I'll post it, just like that. And I've seen a few illustrators from Japan, or wherever. I'm assuming, I think they're from Japan. They're on Pixip. They'll do that. The no nose thing. And I think that's the point of the style of anime, is just like whatever you can do to get the desired look that you want. And if you're going to restrain yourself to whether or not it's realistic, you're not going to have any fun. But on the other hand, especially with people like me, sometimes you need rules and guidelines so that you can try to be creative with what you have available. Whereas when you're free to do whatever you want, that's when I really struggle to think of anything. Mark Curley would be proud. So here's what I'm talking about. So here I did a little dot. That's her mouth. Here I did the hint of the lips, open mouth. That's about all I got. When I see a drawing like this, I really want to do kind of like a slanty, kind of uncertain mouth. Super tiny. And in relation to this character, that's supposed to be just kind of like a shyness. She's kind of like I don't know what you'd call this expression. Surprised, shy surprised. Can't even think of a situation where she would do this, but I've seen it. That's my excuse. Well, other people do it. That's right. What is this? This is a scarf? Oh goodness, what did I do? I'll just say that her hair is on the shorter side over here. Not super short, but there. It's all in the same layer. I'll do that. I'll try to be really particular about my layering, and then one of the many times I'll forget to change layers. Like when all the layer switching I do, and then I'll forget to change layers. And sometimes I'll do a sketch all in one layer. And it's actually much more fun. I get really like, I don't know, it gets like frustrating making sure you have the right layers going on and everything. Whereas if you just do it on the same layer, then you just know all you have to do is draw, erase, draw, erase. You know, don't have to worry about it. Because sometimes what you'll do is you'll get so into having your different layers, and then the one time you forget, and then you'll have done like a bunch of stuff on the wrong layer, and you don't have enough Control Z's in your program to fix everything, and then you just can't handle it. Can't handle it. You know, I don't know, I think she's cute. A really crappy flower. I'm open to requests, by the way, at this point in my YouTubing. If you're one of the few people watching this, and you think, oh, he should do this, you know, even though there's a million YouTube videos on the same stuff, and everyone's like, oh, you should do proportions. And they're like, oh, well, I already did, or there's a million of those videos. You know, as of right now, I don't have many video ideas going on. So feel free to ask away. It might take me a while to get to it, because I'm so busy. I started doing the videos like crazy, and then I immediately had to stop doing too much other stuff, and I just don't have enough time to even deal with what it takes. I don't even edit them, really. A tiny bit of editing on YouTube. But I don't have any video editing software or anything, but just the time it takes to like upload to YouTube. I'm uploading part 1 right now to YouTube, so that when I finish this one, I don't have to wait as long before I combine them. Because even that just takes a long time. Oh, and I just don't have a lot of time. Here's another tip. If you have a drawing like this and you just want to do like a sketch, as far as I'm concerned, like just adding these stripes and then shading them in, just adding like a pattern on her clothing, that really does a lot for an illustration. You know, like Mark Crilly will have a drawing and it looks pretty good, and then he'll go through and just do like super simple shading like this, just to give something the look that it has a different color than the rest of it. And it just looks good, it works. And it's super easy, you don't have to think. Because for now it's all the same color anyway. And as far as I'm concerned, it helps with creativity. I think I'm getting better, more or less, just because I'm trying to put like pattern designs on characters' clothing. That'll do. I'll call this one good for now. I'll stop talking. Hopefully in time I'll have more drawing ideas that I can just kind of go through without worrying about what I'm drawing too much, and talk about other stuff. I mean, like this, I'll talk about it a little bit, but I mean, especially since it's real time, I feel like you don't need me to explain it. Maybe sometimes with certain decisions I'm making, but otherwise I'm not doing any special techniques, so you have to be like, whoa, what's he doing? But hopefully it's fun. At least it's something you could put on in the background to draw to, just so that it's not quiet. Maybe you ran out of music. That's what I do. So, thank you for watching.